stop. His name is Anthony Ramos. He's Hispanic male, about 5'10", 125 pounds. He has a little goatee. He was last seen with no shirt, gray pants, red and white Jordans. He's presumed to be armed with a 9mm silver and black handgun. Actor is known to frequent Phoebe's, the factory, and the mechanic shop across from the ringside. JCTV, KRF 537, stay alert, stay alive. 0742 out.
Stop people with temp tags.
Clinton, the last name Clinton is going to be 154-3904.
What's going on, everybody? Smack and J Cop Watch here. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. Make sure God comes first in everything you do. And this here is just a little bit of what you can hear over police scanners. Public records, public information, anybody can listen in. That's what it's for. And I do a lot of listening, and I observe a lot of police stops that stop people with temp tags on their car. I thought that was legal for you to ride around with a temp tag. They give you a certain amount of time until you can go to motor vehicles to get the original tags put on. I don't know what the problem is here. But I'm reading an article I saw dated back in, I think it was 2018. That was somewhat clarified most of the temp tag stops. This one here was a 2018 article that once the 8th District Circuit Court of Appeals got in a hold of this case, they changed up on how the police now make their stops on temp tags. So this is before the original incident that happened in 2016. So I'm going to read this article about that one there.
The United States Court of Appeals for the 8th Circuit affirmed a district court's ruling that evidence obtained during a traffic stop that was not supported by reasonable suspicion must be suppressed. In its April 13, 2018 opinion, the court said in this case a police officer's inability to read a temporary registration tag in the back window of a vehicle was not a particularized and objective basis for suspecting the particular person supported stopped of breaking the law. Alright, now, on July 1st, 2016 now, Waterloo, Iowa police officer Dayon Del Valle, I hope I pronounced the name right, followed a BMW driven by a gang member believed to be or have been involved in a recent shooting. Valle wanted to stop the vehicle to investigate the shooting but needed a reason to do so. So she saw the BMW had a temporary tag dealership in the back window and radioed to a fellow officer that you can see the plate but you cannot read what's on it. The other officer replied, "There you go." The Valle initiated an equipment stop, during which she smelled marijuana, and another officer that assisted her found a gun. The driver and passenger, Rode and McLemore, were arrested and charged with possession of a firearm by an unlawful drug user in violation of 18 U.S.C. 922 and 924. Both defendants moved to suppress the evidence, arguing that the traffic stop violated their Fourth Amendment requirement that a police officer have reasonable suspicion or probable cause prior to stopping a vehicle. The magistrate recommended denying the motion, but the district court judge agreed and suppressed the evidence. The government appealed, and the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals affirmed. The government argued that the United States v. Gibbons, 763.3b.987, 8th Circuit, 2014, controlled the outcome of the case. In Gibbons, the court affirmed the denial of a suppression motion when a police officer stopped a vehicle with temporary tags because the officer could not read the tag due to darkness and the angle of the vehicle's windshield. Crucially, however, the officer in Givens could usually read the tags at the night, had prior experience with fraudulent registration tags, and did not know whether the paper in the window was in fact a registration tag. That particularized an objective basis for suspecting the particular person stopped of breaking the law was absent in this case. The court found three important facts that distinguished Givens. Number one, the VAL did not identify that violation of state law the BMW operator was suspected of committing. Number two, the temporary registration tag was not introduced into evidence. And number three, the VAL did not testify that she could usually read temporary registration tags at night, or that the local police had previous problems with fraudulent tags. In distinguishing Givens and affirming the suppression order, the court noted that the government's position in this case would mean that an Iowa police officer may stop a vehicle displaying a proper form of temporary registration tag whenever the officer could not read the dealer registration number and the car's expiration date from inside the officer's following police cruiser. Such a rule would violate the Fourth Amendment's requirement that an officer have responsible suspicion that the law was violated prior to stopping a vehicle, said the court. The court observed that the Fourth Circuit similarly rejected the stopping of vehicles based upon similar facts. In United States v. Wilson 205 S.3D 720 Fourth Circuit in 2000, a South Carolina police officer stopped the defendant's car to determine whether its North Carolina temporary paper tag was valid. The officer was unable to read the expiration date in the dark. Thus, the court concluded the officer had no suspicion at all that the defendant had committed any crimes. The court noted that if it were to permit a traffic stop under these circumstances, it would allow police officers to randomly stop any vehicles with a temporary tag. The court declined to do so, stating the Fourth Amendment does not allow a policeman to stop a car just because it had temporary tags.
So just to sum it up real quick, and I want a lot of people to understand that their rights, their Fourth Amendment rights, to be secure in their papers and effects, that police officers cannot stop you just because you got a temp tag on your car or placed in your window illegally at that. They must validate their traffic stops. I mean, you got to understand that. They just can't stop you for no reason. Just because they can't see the tag, they can get out and walk up to it and read it and look at it. And so that should validate that right there. Unless, you did break some type of violation law, okay. But still, that's not a reason for them, asking for your papers and stuff like that. But it looks like in this case, the guy didn't do anything wrong, because I guess he issued a summons or placed under arrest or anything. But female came in the car and drove off with it. So to cover their behinds, that's what happened. Look at this. I came upon this scene here harassing the public.
I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. I will not die anything.
A couple of people minding their business sitting in their car. The cop tells him, I know what you're doing, keep it moving. I wouldn't even be talking to that cop if I was her. Tell her to keep it moving. Don't these people notice it's public property? They ain't got to go nowhere. I don't know what the conversation is all about. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hey, what's up? Won't be me holding some dialogue with these guys. They trying to do an investigation. They ain't gonna get my help. Blocking traffic. Blocking traffic, boy. If that was me, I'd get a ticket. Yeah, before I got here, they did give him a sobriety test. The call came in over the scanner as a guy sitting in the middle of the street. I'm guessing residents of that neighborhood came out, noticed him, and
call the police because cars had to go around this guy. Now, from my understanding, someone came out, asked him to move his car. He looked back at him and didn't pay him no attention, didn't pay him no mind. So now the cops show up.
Don't need one. The search you do, I do know the law. Stop searching this car. You wait till the sergeant leaves, then you gonna go search. Why you do that when your superior's here? Searching, sneaky searching. Come on, bro. Like, don't play. Nah, don't be close. Enough is enough with that shit. Stop searching people's cars. Not you, him. The one behind you. The one behind you. Search that man's whole car. The one behind you search that man's whole car. Ball had one right there. He searched that man's whole car illegally. And he waited till the sergeant leave to do it. Go. I know, officer. It wasn't you, so it ain't about you. So I'm not even gonna argue. It's him. You know what he just did. That legal shit he just did. Don't do that in his community. He's been searching man's whole car. Open the back door. Open the front door. What's going on in front? You're not supposed to do that. Period. No, that's the legal shit that they do all the time. Enough is enough of that shit. Glad for everybody.
Female passenger in the car. Looks like they had an all-nighter. That's too bad. She could have took the car and parked it somewhere, but now he got to pay double to get it back. Sad.
No, they're all blacked out.
Oh, wait there. Okay. 46?
One going down the shop.
Yeah, God. Where from Dennis? No, what's coming up? From the sober, from here? Yeah. Very good. Reach down there.